Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. Today we have the Aegis Firebird. Finally, I have a solo ship, a tried and true solo ship that we can talk about, that I can put my opinion on it for this. And I think, all right, I'm gonna say out first, right? I think we have kinda an apple to apple comparison. I know lots of people are commenting about why am I comparing to another ship that doesn't do the same thing. So in this case, the Aegis Firebird or the Aegis Sabre Firebird is a combat ship, and it has exactly two ships that is side by side in terms of design, stats, stats and combat. No, I cannot use the word combat capability. That's why we're going to look at it. They are not true equals. That's the thing. That's why we cannot really do a tried and true apples to apples comparison. But because they are the same platform and they are combat, yeah, you know what? That is apple to apples, in my opinion. And before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And I'm going to start off with the first PSA. You do not need to buy any of this ship with real money. They are all purchasable in the game with in-game currency. Yeah, that's number one. I'm going to keep it short because $700 million already raised for Star Citizen, and I can easily say this, right? For the general populace out there, just get a starter pack and wait for the game to release. If not, wait for the game to release, then only pledge or buy a starter pack if you want to continue to play, or if you want to play. Yeah, actually the word is not continue to play, right? If you want to play. Yeah. And secondly, everything is subject to change, so don't get hung up on a lot of stats because they might be as close as you can get today and on release, but they're gonna change one way or the other. Heck, they released the new master mode flight system. Every single ship out there right now has changed its combat meta, I would say. So with that, I would say, yeah, taper your expectation a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about the Aegis Sabre Firebird. So now, of course, it goes without saying, we have two more other chassis on the Sabre chassis. Of course, we have the OG version or the original version, which is the Sabre. It is more of a medium fighter, a stealth medium fighter. And then we get a promotional Aegis Sabre Raven. Now that, I don't think you can get it anywhere else right now. I believe so. If you still can get it, great. I think most of it, I don't know if you can get it. No, I will never say go to the gray market. Never. All right. If you want, get it in game. Okay, now we move on to the third iteration of the Aegis Sabre chassis, and it is the Firebird. Now the Firebird has 12 size 3 missiles, and it is a bespoke weapon hardpoint, which means it is a chassis specific weapon. And I think it is kind of okay-ish. In fact, actually, I would say it is much better to release a bespoke weapon to ships, because if not, you can buy a lot of other ships and you can outfit and becomes jack of all trade, master of none, which is usually what I used to compare to with larger ships. And I know you guys out there will love to, I mean, you guys love your ships, okay, I'll put it this way. And of course, if I say anything wrong about certain ships, you guys will come at me. Case in point, the Anvil Carrack, okay? But I digress, right? I digress. And I do love the Anvil Carrack, but that's a whole nother story by itself, which once they have certain stuff released, we'll talk about it. Now, let's go back to the Aegis Sabre Firebird. So it has two size 3 weapon hardpoint and one bespoke 12 missile hardpoint. 12 missile hardpoint? Is that what you call a missile weapon system? Size 3. I messed that up. I'm not going to edit that part, all right? A missile system, a size 3 missile system, up to 12 capacity. Yeah, and in this case, it's underbelly, and it is actually not bad. Now, one small little thing before we move forward. Missiles right now in the game is slightly wonky due to the desync issue. Okay, that means you are not getting the full missile experience. Now, I'm a sucker for Macross Missile Massacre style, right? Launch all the missiles. And when it's not on desync, which usually you get on Arena Commander, it is a sight to behold, right? Truth to be told, I love a barrage of missiles going to an enemy. Overkill is the word. And in this case, the Aegis Sabre Firebird delivers. It really, really delivers with all the missile payloads. Of course, you're not going to launch all 12 in one go. I think the highest is 6. I'm not so sure. I need to double check again. But you can unload a buttload. The question is, once you unload all 12, that's it. Bye-bye. So it's more of a semi run and gun ship. It's not a dogfighting ship. Sure, you can dogfight, but it's going to be literally, you're going to deal 50% less DPS compared to the Aegis Sabre, which is, yeah. But the Aegis Sabre Firebird has 1 or 2 little tricks up its sleeve, and hopefully, most likely, it could help you. That's why we're going to take a look at the stats, all right? And at the same time, the Aegis Sabre Firebird is the only ship out there that you can buy that is the closest chassis to the Sabre Raven. That's right. So if you missed out on the Sabre Raven, the Sabre Firebird is the closest thing. Yeah, small little changes, but it is the closest thing. So look at that. Look at that. Oof. Sweet. I love missiles, all right? If you ask me, I actually prefer missiles over ballistic weapons or energy weapons, unless if they have a rail gun. Actually, no, the rail gun is on the Idris. Okay, so yeah, I still love missiles. Of course, it's the most expensive weapon system at the moment, right? That's one thing for sure. It is the most expensive. Energy free, ballistic, a little bit more ammo for its cost, and missiles missiles are way too expensive. If you are doing a 1 versus 1 fight, sure. If you are doing PvE missions, depending how efficient you are, it might not be cost effective. That's one small little thing. After doing a lot of PvE missions, missiles is very, very expensive in the long run, right? Ballistic weapons and energy weapons is the choice to go, in my opinion. Okay, so next up we have, what do you call this? The skins. And none of the skins I like, right? Sadly, they do not have the Firebird style or the Firebird team skin. If they have a Firebird or a Phoenix, I will buy that skin, okay? That's the only exception. If they give me a Trans Am Firebird style skin, great. If they give me a Phoenix, also good. Or a Firebird, a literal Firebird. Yeah, but if that's the case, no. So what do we have here on default? 24. Why did it say 12? I knew something was wrong. I knew, because you can launch more than that. Yeah, so in this case, 24. I was wrong. Why did it say 12? Why did it say 12? Just because I read the top part. Yeah, brain fart. And of course, it has dual Mantis GT22. It's a size 3 Gatling cannon, so nothing much about that. And it's 1. Okay, I know you guys have given me a hard time of multi-crew ships, but this is a tried and true solo ship. Solo combat ship. And let's see how much does it cost. We have an Invictus flight jacket if you were to pick up with the Warborn. And this is the part that I can easily... Woman upgrade today. Is it gone already? No, it's still here. It's still here. Why are you not showing up? I'm gonna do a refresh. Okay. And I'm gonna go to... Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Yeah, Firebird. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Wow. Something is off. Something is off. We're going to check later. All right? We're going to check later. Hopefully you guys can still buy. If not, I'll just do a CCU or a Warborn upgrade or an upgrade instead. So for those who are on the fence, this is the best way to do it, in my opinion. If any ship costs above $100, in fact, actually, I will say, yes, if it's $100 and above, do this. It will be much cheaper in the long run. So what I like to do is I usually pick the Warborn upgrade because you save a little bit of money. $15 is a huge thing. And I'll just pick the closest ship to upgrade to, and it has to be flight ready. So in this case, we have a few options. The Gladiator, we only pay $5 difference, which is nice. Yep. And SRV is flight ready. You can pick that up as well, $5. Prospector, okay, Prospector is $15, so a bit tough. Yeah, so I'll usually pick the cheapest of the cheap. So in this case, this. But if you do not have the option, so we go for standard upgrade. If you don't want to do a Warborn upgrade, that's totally fine. Now, this one, a big PSA, do not pick the F7CM Super Hornet Mark 1 because you cannot get the Mark 1 anymore for the Hornet series. So the closest thing is the Freelancer Miss. Yeah, just pay a little bit more, but this is store credit. So store credit, it's okay-ish. So I'll pick up the $10. Can we do it? Yep, we still can do it. Okay, we're going to check that later. All right, now we're going to look at stats. We're going to do a quick look about stats. So let's compare the first important stats, which is the hull stats or the hard stats. All right, so FCM speed, 240. We want to make sure we want to get all the things correct. So 240 FCM speed, nav max speed, 1400. The pitch yaw roll, if you want to go a little bit more in depth, of course, we can take a look more. Hull HP is also another one. And last but not least, the Aegis Sabre is technically a stealth fighter. So you want to pay attention to these two numbers over here, or rather these two segments. And I get these stats from DPS calculator. Again, stats are subject to change in the future depending on how they want to implement certain things. So bear in mind. Now EM at 3.6, IR at 3.7. And if we basically go all out, I think the maximum lock-on range for your Firebird, if you choose to get it, it should be at 4.3 kilometers, the highest number. But if you manage to squeeze down or suppress your IR, then yeah, that's my general rule of the numbers, right? Pick the highest number, and that's how much range your opponent can lock onto you. In this case, 3.6 kilometers, 3.7 kilometers, longest range 4.3. Not bad, not bad. Okay, not bad. Next up, we want to check, of course, the Sabre, the base version, stealth fighter. Speed is lower. Ooh, the Firebird is better. Nice. Max speed. Oh no. It is a little bit better. Hull HP, same. Right, great. Quantum field capacity. Normally, when you choose a fighter, you don't really care about the field capacity in general. But of course, more is better, right? So in this case, the Sabre is a little bit better. However, the trade-off, EM higher, IR much higher. Thrusters, okay, so basically the lock-on, if everything goes all out, and you get 5 kilometers. Okay, you know what? It's not a lot more better compared to the Sabre, but it is a little bit better. And when you suppress, so do note, when you suppress your IR and EM, IR, if you suppress your IR, that means you can go quite low. And I think somebody did some calculation. I'm sure somebody really did. And I think the lowest they can go was 2 km, either 2 or 2.7. I've forgotten. Right? Those are the floating numbers in my head right now. At least under 3 kilometers, but above 2, that's for sure. Yeah, if you can get under 1, that would be perfect, right? And I think that's the Eclipse, which we're going to check a little bit just for fun. Okay, now the Sabre Raven I know this is going to be hard to get. It's going to be an interceptor. Don't know if you can still buy it. So this is the closest thing that actually it should be compared to because of the chassis. But again, this is an interceptor, so not really an apple-to-apple comparison. FCM speed, same. Nav speed is same. Hull HP, same all across the board. And quantum field, However, the Raven is a little bit more on the EM side. IR side is a little bit more, but the subsystem, okay, not so bad. It's about the same. About the same. And last but not least, if we're gonna go for DPS, let's see. The Sabre Raven has 2 size 3 weapon hardpoints, so therefore in terms of guns, same firepower. The Sabre has 4 size 3, double the firepower. However, the Sabre has also missiles, but only a measly 4 size 3 missiles. And that's where the bulk of the DPS is gone. So the Sabre is a good sustained DPS, but horrible burst. Whereas the Sabre Firebird is a great burst DPS or alpha, but horrible sustain. So we have 24, there we go. Fantastic. And of course, the Raven, it is an EMP ship, so it is much different. So in this case, the Raven, I can't really compare in terms of firepower or burst DPS, but sustain, about the same. Yup. So with that being said, that's the closest ship comparison, which is 1-to-1. Well, it's not 1-to-1, it's apple to apples, right? Yeah. All right, let's check the Eclipse. Eclipse, how low can it go? Eclipse is higher. Eclipse is higher. Okay, there we go. There we go. Of course, all this thing, even though it's on paper, real practical application is going to be different. And of course, last but not least, all right, bear in mind, everything is subject to change. So you want to get in and taper your expectation, that's for sure. And that's all I have for you. The last one, okay, so last one, what we're going to do is going to go pledge store. I just want to check this for the sake of checking. Can I go to ships? No. No. Why aren't you? Yeah, I can't do upgrade extras. Okay, standalone ship. This is the last bit. And of course, before we end, again, everything you can buy in the game, all you need is a starter pack. That's it. That's it. Everything else is to help fund the development of Star Citizen. And of course, we have reached 700 million and above. So the question is, should you put more money? Do you want to give more money to them? I know lots of people will say no, which is totally fair. Okay, now let's go to the last bit. Can we pick up the Firebird? Yes, we can. In stock. We have, of course, the Warborn Edition as well, 170. And we have lifetime insurance if you choose to pick up. Now, of course, there are cheaper alternatives to do so. So in my opinion, if you want to pick up the Firebird, that's great. In my opinion, grab it in the game with real money. With in-game currency, and I would say just have a starter pack. You know what? Let's put it this way. Just get a starter pack only. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Until then, I will see you in reverse and fly safe. Yup. Also, if you think my take is bad, let me know down in the comments below. Let's have some conversation going on. And last but not least, yup. Yeah, I said too much last but not least, right? That's too much. That's too much. Okay.